Slovenia, the Switzerland of the Balkans. This little alpine Balkan nation with the landscapes of Austria and the calorie-rich diet of Bosnia and Herzegovina, a Slavic-speaking ski paradise, a former communist nation turned EU member state. For centuries, this country has stood at the crossroads between Western European and Eastern European influence, making it the perfect and ideal location to mediate between the two. Behind me is one of the most important buildings in establishing this identity for the little nation of Slovenia. This is the Brdo Castle, the former residence of Austrian princes, of Yugoslav princes, and even communist leader Josip Broz Tito himself. In 1990, in the dying days of Yugoslavia, Slovenian leaders secretly met here to plan the establishment of a new state, setting up an independence referendum for December of that year, which passed with 88% of the vote. The first meeting between a US and Russian president since the end of the Cold War was here in 2001, between George Bush and Vladimir Putin. When Slovenia held the presidency of the European Union in 2008 and 2021, meetings were held here. This castle stands just a few kilometers from the Slovenian city of Kranj, the oldest city in Slovenia. In today's video, we're going to be exploring Kranj. We're going to take a bus over there, and we're going to go see what has made this little city great throughout the various empires, throughout the centuries that it's seen. So come join Mia and I as we explore Kranj, Slovenia. George Bush was here. We're about to walk around this park a little bit. In a completely unrelated turn of events, right next door is the Slovenian National Soccer Center. Would you guys check this out? This is a fountain from 1936. It's a Yugoslav fountain from pre-communist times. Look at this little lion. This thing is 87 years old. Not bad. Prince Paul of Yugoslavia probably drank the water directly from that fountain. Or he at least ordered it to be built. Cool stuff in this Brdo Park. Alright, we have enjoyed the park a little bit. I hope you did too. And now we are going to take the Slovenian public transport back to Kranj, where a world of surprises awaits us. And over here, outside the Brdo Hotel, you have the Slovenian, European Union, Croatian, and Turkish flag. Because why not? The bus is going to take us back through some small little Slovenian villages, and we get to walk through the countryside a little bit. On our way to Kranj, the promised land. Brdo Castle. In the foothills of the Slovenian Alps. Hvala. Visa Kranj. We had to run for the bus, but the guy stopped for us, which is nice. I don't think we would have made it, but shout out to this guy. Watch out for cows. We are back in downtown Kranj. We're gonna go wander into some neighborhoods and discover Slovenia's third largest city and talk about its history along the way. Now I have to tell you guys this. If you're ever lucky enough to find yourself in Kranj at the bus station, make sure you go to this pekara, which is just behind this bus right now, or pekarna as they call them. It is one of the best bakeries I've had in the Balkans. I got a little chocolate bread thing and what else? Oh, and some meat burek. Oh my God. That shit was so bomb. Make sure you go there, get some breakfast, or lunch, or dinner, or all three. One of the best pekarnas I've ever been to. Some beautiful Yugoslav architecture for you. So this is one of the main parks of Kranj. And also you have this thing which points to a bunch of cities like Banja Luka, you have Bitola in North Macedonia, you have Villach in Austria, and I believe from what I saw on the internet that this is the twin cities of Kranj, which brings me to the concept of like, what the hell is the point of having twin cities? Like what do these cities gain from being twin cities with Kranj? Anyone who's ever learned anything about this system, like, please explain why it exists.
If you've ever been a twin or a city, please comment below.
Thank you. Now we're gonna go see the main square of Kranj with some of its beautiful monuments. And we've made it to the main square of Kranj, Slovenian Square. But the square was not always called Slovenian Square, well, because Slovenia didn't always exist. This square used to be named after King Peter, the leader of Yugoslavia, before it was communist. And then, after World War II, it was called Freedom Square. And then from 1961 onward, it was called the Square of the Revolution. And now, since 1991, the birth of the nation of Slovenia, it's been called Slovenian Square. And behind me, throughout the square, are these beautiful sculptures done by Lojze Dolinar, a famous Slovenian sculptor in the 20th century. These sculptures were made in the late 1950s and early 1960s to celebrate the revolution and the workers of Yugoslavia. And wow, are these some intimidating workers? Look at these guys and gals. Look at that. Look at how strong and mighty the communist workers of Yugoslavia are depicted here in Slovensko trg. Look at these brave Yugoslav soldiers and workers. This as well was done by Dolinar in 1961 to celebrate the intellectuals of Yugoslavia. And here you have a relief map of the city of Kranj. We're right here. This is the relief map of the city of Kranj. And right here is where the relief map of the city of Kranj on the relief map of the city of Kranj would be. This was the first of the statues built in 1960 on the edge of the square. It's here to let any would-be invaders of Kranj know that if you want to mess with Kranj, first you have to mess with this scary warrior lady on a statue. Mia's going to get a salad, but I want to show one more thing first. This monument right outside the city hall is in thanks and memory of the brave defenders of Slovenian independence in 1991. The town municipality of Kranj, to the 30-year anniversary of the independence of the Republike Slovenije 2021. When Slovenia declared independence from Yugoslavia in 1991, well, Yugoslavia wasn't going to let them get away so easily. And so a war was fought here in Slovenia. It was the shortest of the Yugoslav independence wars, and it only lasted 10 days. In the end, Slovenia was allowed to leave. Casualties were not high on either side. Yugoslavia decided that it was more in its best interest to pursue Croatia, and 1 year later, Bosnia. But that's a story for another day. But all over Slovenia, you can see monuments commemorating the people who fought and defended Slovenian independence for those 10 days. And they're honored here, in Kranj. Let's go get some food.
That's really good.
It's a Slovenian salad, a Slovenian soup, Slovenian bread, and here we have some Slovenian sausage. The food was good, but it took a little while. So we only have about 2 hours until our train. So we're gonna go do a lap through the old town of Kranj. Then we're gonna collect our bags, and then we're gonna go to the train station. But we're gonna take the long way and we're gonna see some cool stuff. Just you wait. Did you like the meal, Mia?
Yeah, I did like it.
What did you like the most about it?
That the salad wasn't really a salad, but it still tasted good.
We're gonna go to the gorge. But first, the old town. Kranj. Kranj was a medieval town. It was even a town in Roman times. And it was the head of the greater region. One of the oldest towns in the entire area. And then these streets, these beautiful little streets, were the center of the medieval old town. Got some nice bright colors on these houses. The other side of town where we just were was much more like Yugoslav era, all the buildings, but this is definitely older than that. And wow, look at these shoes just hanging up. That's awesome. This is the hostel we stayed at. Nice little hostel. And look at this old little street in Kranj. This is Slovenia. SF, shout out to this dude Sal. And we go down the spooky steps. You go first. I'm scared. The cool kids hang out over here and do cool kid things. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, you wouldn't. If you like water, Slovenia is the place to be.
You can drink as much of it as you want here.
No, but there's a lot of rivers.
Some might say that the Slovenia vlogs have been quite relaxed in nature so far compared to my other vlogs. And I think it's because it's a very relaxing place here. But if you want a not very relaxed, more intense vlog, then tomorrow's vlog is for you in Ljubljana, because that's going to be quite a doozy, so stay tuned. But for now, you get Kranj. Look at that structure just built into the hill. One can only imagine how old that is or what it was. The city is filled with bunkers and tunnels from World War II. I don't know if that would be this or if this is something else. If any local Kranjians know what this is, this old stone structure up there, let us know. Look at this nice little trail. Right in the center of Old Kranj. Some cities try to bring the nature to them by putting parks, but this city came to the nature. Because right up there is where we just were. Like, that's the middle of the old town, and then down here is just this pretty trail. The whole city is just built all the way up there, and we're just down here. The thing that's crazy about walking down all those stairs is that now we have to walk up them. Thoughts?
Sad.
That's okay, we're strong. That was a lot of stairs. Hydration is key. All right, we're gonna go get our stuff. Be right back, and then the final march of Kranj begins. We were just down there. Bags acquired, clothes changed. It's 3:22, our train's in 1 hour and 1 minute. So now, we're gonna take one last walk through the beautiful streets of Kranj, and we're gonna take a trip through its industrial history. And we're gonna get a coffee. We've made it to the heart of the old town of Kranj, which means that we are at the cathedral. But more importantly than that, we've also made it to the consulate of Montenegro. Shout out to all the Crnogorski watching. Da? Lako uzmem eno espresso za dom?
Sabo.
Za sabo, da. Kako praviš? To go?
To
Take
go,
away?
za seboj.
Za sobой. Okay.
Where are you from?
America.
Oh, okay.
Govorim bosanski. I made two friends actually. I went in there and I was like, can I get this to go? And the people who told us how to say to go, I don't know if this was wrong or if I misunderstood or what, but they told us that to go in Slovenian, you just say for house.
Yeah.
So that's what I said. And then he was like, for what? And then I was like, and then I was like, how do you say it? And then he told me, I forgot now.
Za seboj.
And then he was like, where are you from? And I was like, from America, but I speak a bit of Bosnian, so that's why I can like kind of understand a bit of Slovenian. Then he started speaking to me in like Bosnian, whatever, and he is from Crna Gora, he's from Montenegro. And then the girl who was in the cafe, who I think works there, is from Bosnia, from near Sarajevo. And then we talked for like 5 minutes, and I explained like why I speak Bosnian, like all this stuff. I've been to Bosnia a couple times. Really nice people. I forgot their names completely. Then he's like, here, coffee's on us. And I was like, no, let me pay. And he was like, no, I'm not letting you pay for this. So he gave me a free coffee. So Shout out to them.
Oh, that's cute.
I said shout out to the Srnogorski, and I mean it even more now.
Yes.
So yeah, shout out to the people of Kranj
The Sarajevans.
and the Sarajevans. So as Mia just said, I officially have a reason for learning Bosnian. It's finally paid off. I got this free coffee. See, this is why you should learn languages. You should just jump into it, screw it. You'll get a free coffee sometimes. In Kranj, of all places.
You have to add some charm and good looks to that.
Yeah, you have to be good looking as well, so I'm sorry if you don't fall into that category like I do, but yeah. It's crazy how coffee can just bring your mood from like a 9 to a 13. Now, Kranj has been a city that has been settled since antiquity for thousands of years. One of the reasons why is because it's the site of two rivers, the Kokra River, and if you look down here, the Sava River, which is my personal favorite river in the world, because Sava. And you can see the Sava River just going like this, or I guess like that. And then the Kokra River flows into it down there. So obviously, where there's a meeting of rivers, cities are bound to be born. These rivers are great for transport, and for hundreds of years were great for factories as well. Behind me there's a dam which services some of the region's electricity. So for hundreds of years, Kranj has used the rivers which pass through it. We're crossing the Kokra River now, and then we're gonna go across the Sava River and walk along it to the train station. After World War II in communist Yugoslavia, Kranj was an important industrial city. Throughout the latter half of the 20th century, it continuously grew as more and more industries like textile manufacturing, shoe manufacturing, rubber manufacturing, these kinds of things came into Kranj, and it became one of Slovenia's hubs of industry. However, when Slovenia declared independence from Yugoslavia in 1991, a lot of these manufacturing companies no longer had the support of the state. And therefore, many of the more labor-intensive industries, like shoemaking and textiles, died out. A lot of these abandoned factories that we've been walking by surely were part of that industry. Due to these developments in the early 1990s, the city of Kranj has many brownfields, sites where factories used to be that are now just left to rot away. One can only imagine what this little field here would have been used for back in the day. If there was a building here destroyed, or if it was just empty. Over there, I mean, maybe there's still stuff going on here, but it doesn't look like there's many cars in the parking lot. So even in a country like Slovenia, which is the most well-off of the former Yugoslav nations, you're still bound to have some scars of the breakup of the great nation of Yugoslavia. Like this factory. And this part of the city of Kranj wasn't destroyed by war as many places in Bosnia or Croatia were. Just by geopolitics and the changing of the times. And here we've reached the Sava River, the mighty Sava, which flows down that way through Ljubljana, Zagreb, Belgrade. It forms the border between Croatia and Bosnia. In Županja, there's a car behind us. Probably not the best bridge to be walking on. This is not a bridge for pedestrians. I must say that this neighborhood of Kranj was not on the tourist maps. However, the story doesn't end there. When Slovenia declared independence in 1991 and became its own independent nation, formally joining the United Nations in 1992, it had lost much of the industry of the Yugoslav days, so it looked westward. By 2004, it was a member of the EU, and it was welcoming investment from Western companies. A city like Kranj, which already was experienced in making rubber, got investment from Goodyear. And so just up this hill, Goodyear built a factory where they make a lot of tires and brought back a lot of industry to Kranj. I was hoping that this road on the way to the train station would go by the factory, but Instead, we get these other factories. Over there, they make windows and doors. And here you can see some people getting out of work. So the industry of Kranj is back. Kranj lives again. You'll have to believe me that the Goodyear factory is up there. And so just as Slovenia saw a transition from the Eastern communist world to the Western capitalist world, the city of Kranj has seen change with it. Here you have the company of Iskra, which seems to make some kind of automotive systems. And clearly this place employs a lot of people because there's a lot of people leaving work, a lot of cars in the parking lot, and these factories look a lot healthier than the ones that we saw before. So just as Slovenia has experienced a lot of change in the last 30 years, so has Kranj with it, and it's adapted from one industry to the next. It's obviously become a much more service-based economy, as much of the Western world is. And now Kranj enters its own future, a part of Slovenia, a part of the EU, and here's to nothing but bright days ahead for lovely old Kranj. Now we're going to take the train to Ljubljana and begin our next adventure there. But the video is not quite over yet because one, I'm going to try to see the Goodyear factory from the train, and two, I want to show you the Slovenian trains. So stick around, one more minute. Not a bad little train station. It's got the Austro-Hungarian architecture with the communist vibe. Best of both worlds. Slovenian trains have free Wi-Fi. Major development. It's only like a 25-30 minute train ride to Ljubljana. What a small country.
Naslednja postaja Ljubljana.
We are back in the megapolis of Ljubljana. Thank you for coming along today. And get ready because tomorrow's vlog, which will probably be out in a few days after this vlog, is going to be the most extreme vlog of all. Some urban exploration here in Slovenia. Thanks for coming to Kranj with us, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.